All right. Welcome to This Fan's Views, September 29th, 6:30. Wednesday night, we got myself, John, and like to welcome back the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Carl Henderson.
Absolutely. Welcome back.
Thanks,
Bands
guys.
all together. Bands all together again.
We'll start off with Carl. How you doing?
I'm doing okay. Every day's an adventure, but yeah, I'm doing okay. I said something to John yesterday. I said I feel like I need to jump back on the show. I just feel like
a little bit of
good,
normalcy.
bad, or indifferent. I need to. Not that I took the shirt off. I think I wore it every day in therapy. Talked about the show a lot.
Yeah.
It's
good to have some normalcy back in your life, right?
Yeah, it is. It's good to be home. Yeah, so I'm excited, and thanks for having me back.
Anytime.
Thanks for being here.
Yep.
So all right. With that, we'll throw it over to John. What do you got, John? The fantasy football. How we looking?
Fantasy football. Well, I kind of want to throw a flag here, just temporarily. Start off here a little bit. The viewers took advantage of Lauren and Anthony on the week when they were preparing to get ready for the big event this week. So I don't know how we should take this one, if this should be a mulligan or not. But congratulations to the viewers. They kicked our butts again for the second time this year in 3 weeks. 193.78 to 151.26. So congratulations to them. Congratulations to Greg Smith for the high score of the week at a 224.68. So congratulations to him for that. So we are doing well. We have 70 players this year in the game.
Wow.
Nice.
So
that's a record, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Thanks to everybody for playing. That's keeping me busy, of course, which is good. And but
yes, if you don't have enough keeping you busy,
right? But we have this great prize from Carl's Cards and Collectibles. The Jason Kelsey autographed jersey going to the winner has got a lot of people enticed on playing. So we've got a lot of spreading the word going out there and getting people involved. So we're doing well with it, and so we have this will be the last week, I guess, for people to join without
it'd still be relevant
and still be able to win the prize because of week 14. Since we have 14 weeks going in there.
So I need to come with a fake account so I can join and win the jersey.
Oh, hey, if you want to. If you want to, but if you're starting now, you don't have as many mulligans. So everybody who started from the beginning has the extra 4 mulligans. So, but it's all good. But yeah, we've had a lot of fun with it. A lot of people voting. You'll be seeing my friendly reminders every day.
Or not so friendly.
Yeah, exactly. Well, they're waiting for the last minute so they can see, I guess, injury reports. But the longer they wait, the longer it takes me to get the reports filled out and get the lineups ready for the next day. So it ends up sneaking into Thursday before the game time. So, But there's no viewer left behind. So once you're voted, you're going to keep getting hounded until you give me your votes. So just get them in, and I think we have already like half of the viewers votes in right now. So
nice.
I
got to tell you, Paul said something to me from State Farm.
Yes,
it's like, man, because John's relentless. He was not as nice as I just was, but I'm like, hey, get your picks in. You won't have to hear from them.
Right.
That's simple.
I send one out a day. I mean, today I sent out 2 of them because I didn't send them out yesterday.
Right.
But it's all good. We get them all in. I just want to make sure everybody gets their votes in. That's all. And life's quick and crazy right now. So everybody doesn't have that 5 minutes, and then they forget about it. They think they're going to do it a little bit later, and then it sneaks up on them. So
if you don't play, you can't win.
Exactly.
At the Pennsylvania Lottery, slogan?
Oh, so it's this fan's view one now.
We'll steal it and make it our own.
It's copyrighted by this fan too. So yeah, we're having a great time with it. So I keep it up, and this week it's Carl's week. He's going to hopefully get us back on to the winning track here for the host, and then Mario's going to step up and get us the lead back again.
I've been staring the list down today, so
exactly.
Yep.
So
very cool.
We're good.
Very cool. Now that I got a clear head and got my shake the cobwebs loose.
There you go.
That's why we waited till week 4 for you.
Right.
I appreciate that. I just real quick. Everybody's welcoming back, and I appreciate everybody. I mean, the love and support and phone calls and text messages and just everything has just been. The outpouring has been phenomenal, whether it's through friendship, through the store, through friends of friends. It's phenomenal. People that you didn't know knew you. It's just, it's just good. It's just good to know. It was a long month. I'll say that much.
Yeah.
I don't care to relive September ever again. So.
Exactly.
Yeah, crazy. But John's holding the store down, for us, along with a few other of our friends. When John needs to get away and needs a break. So they all know who they are. Brad, Bill Mattis, you, Carolyn. Everybody's been so supportive and yeah. So. Thanks to everybody tonight for welcoming me back. So
exactly.
Appreciate it.
You came back just in time for watching the Eagles and the Phillies here now.
I watched that game the other night and I just was like, wait, I haven't. No.
Is this Roy Rogers or Mr. Rogers?
This is not happening. This is not normal.
It wasn't the medicine, I can tell you that.
Yeah, crazy. Just absolutely threw me into another. I don't know. Just threw me into. I kept looking over to Sue, and I'm like, is this really a game? I mean, is this really happening? Right. I knew it had the potential to be a blowout. Because it always is. And the past couple have not gone very well.
Right.
So I just, I just, are they truly that bad? I mean, is it, are we talking Eagles, by the way? I mean,
we are.
I guess we are now.
Yeah,
I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure who prepared the segments and where we were at. But I mean, week 1 was, you got by, Atlanta. Week two, I thought they played better in week 2 than they did week 1, to be honest with you.
Well, for the first half.
Right.
What's that?
For the first half they did, and then they kind of got figured out in the second half, like they.
Right. But I just, and then I look, at the Dallas game, and I put the 3 together, and I'm like, man, this is a really very young football team that doesn't know the direction they're going.
Right.
They have no leadership. From the coaches, it's mind-boggling.
The loss of Brandon Graham, showed up big time this week.
Sure.
And we lost 2 more this week, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, we lost a few more than that. Yeah, with Salamalo going out with the Liz Franks and then
didn't we lose a bunch of people last year because of injury, and we ended up playing hurt?
Well, you've already lost what, 3 of your starting offensive linemen,
right?
Yep.
So I guess technically you could throw your running backs into that spot because they don't run the ball, so they could at least block, right?
Right.
Okay, so somebody explain this to me. Why don't we run the ball? I figured new coach, new plays. They're running the same damn plays all the time.
Well, the way he explained it was the RPOs are run. They consider them run plays. So even though we threw on those plays, we only ran 3 times last week against the Cowboys. They counted it as much more than 3 runs.
So does somebody need to explain to them what a running play is?
Right. Well, they had the option. That's what the RPO is for. And they had the option there, and it ended up being a pass. So
every play is a running play by that standard.
Well, exactly. And
because if you throw the ball and catch it and run,
well, not for that reason, but see that the problem is all their run pass options are going to be pass options because nobody in the NFL is afraid of Jalen Hurts' arm. So until he
what's that tell you?
Well, that's why he was a 2nd-round pick. He doesn't have a strong enough arm. So until he proves them wrong with that and gets better with the more accuracy and be able to throw the ball down the field better, especially across the middle of the field.
All right, so
they're going to sneak up on him.
I see. I haven't missed a whole bunch in the 4 weeks I was gone. and before you start beating up, Jalen Hurts, some of the plays that were out there, you're not gonna throw them over to the coach and say, Coach, what are you thinking?
Oh,
right.
No.
You know what I mean?
No, I'm not saying that either. I mean, he had a terrible game. He looked like a deer in the headlights last week against the Cowboys. I mean, the game got completely away from him. No, I mean it's definitely on him as well. But the problem is they're limited because everybody's piling in the box there and taking the run away from them, and and letting them daring them to throw the ball down the field to get beat, especially against good teams. And Hurts unfortunately wasn't able to beat that. So until that happens, it's it's going to be a lot of the same thing like this. I mean, we could end up going the next 8 games. We can go 1-8, 1-7 in the next 8 games. It can get real ugly here.
Yeah, I mean, I hear what you're saying. And we truly, really only care about what happens in Philadelphia.
Right.
But, you look around the league. You look around the league. You look at these young quarterbacks that were drafted top 5. Top 5. And you look and you see what's going on around the game.
Yeah.
And it just – I'm like, what are these coaches thinking?
Yep.
You're not gonna live your 3-year contract.
Right.
No.
I look at the scenario in Chicago, what's going there. It wouldn't surprise me one bit that our old pal Nick Foles doesn't start this Sunday.
Yeah, well, that's what they said. All three quarterbacks have a chance to be starting this week, including Foles.
Joe brings up a very good point. They got killed with penalties.
Oh yeah, very undisciplined team. It's showing that they didn't play in the preseason. So a lot of these things are happening. A lot of those penalties go back on Hurts though a little bit because of the run pass options where he's holding on to the ball a little bit longer and the offensive line got down the field a little bit more than they should have on a few of those plays. Holding plays because they thought he was running and he's back behind them still, and so they were letting the guys go past him, and he was still standing there and he wasn't running. It's a little bit of a mix there, but I mean Barnett's like Nick says, Barnett's got more penalties than he does career sacks. I guess the confusing part to me is.
I guess this falls along the lines of baseball with analytics and everything that football now wants to do. The short game doesn't exist anymore. I know they tried a couple, and you brought it up at the beginning with the RPOs, with Miles Sanders, but the tight ends, were non-existent.
Yep.
They disappeared. If this whole offense is going to be 50, 60-yard bombs, you're done.
Right.
You're done. First off, you don't know if the wide receivers are running the correct routes. You don't know if they're going to be able to beat their man. And then, the quarterback, does he or doesn't he have the arm strength to throw the ball 60, 70 yards? It doesn't look like it. You know what I mean? So, why wouldn't you reel it back in, especially early in the game when you were only down 21-7, and bring it back to, to a short game, where you use your tight ends, where you use your running backs, you know what I mean? And get these guys in the open field.
Right. Oh, yeah.
It doesn't make any sense.
Well, that's the thing with the tight ends. They got to get them to the outside because that's, Jalen doesn't throw the ball in the middle of the field much.
Why? Why is that?
Well, because I don't think he trusts his arm. And his arm's not strong enough to
So he doesn't trust himself.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure he does, but I'm saying, but the coach doesn't trust him.
No, I'm not buying that a little bit because you're telling me that this kid, he can't throw the ball over the middle 20, 25 yards.
He can't.
Come on. That's
seriously?
That's bizarre. That's bizarre. You're not going to get through game 6 before you don't have a quarterback change.
Well, no, but I mean that's his problem. He cannot throw the ball. Everything he throws is to the outside the numbers because it's a safer throw.
But that's not him calling these plays. That's these clowns on the sideline calling these plays.
And if your coach doesn't trust your quarterback, that's a problem. That's a red flag for me.
Well, yeah. Well, the problem is, they don't believe in Hurts anyway. So I mean, it's just
why have him?
But John, and I've been watching a lot of TV the past month. Trust me, and I'm only hearing this from a couple different people about the arm strength and throwing the ball over the middle.
I've heard it too. I've heard it,
but John is the one that's pounded it into the ground. This is like Gabe Kapler all over again. This is Gabe Kapler 101 all over again. You know what I mean? And I don't, the nurse just left and she said, "Don't get your blood pressure up." But here I am. Here I am. This is Gabe Kapler all over again. And our boy Gabe is heading into the playoffs.
How far do you think they're going to go?
We'll get to that.
Okay.
We'll get to that. I just don't, and I know, John, I know you're a quarterback guru. That's your study habits. I get it. But I just can't believe with what you brought in Flacco and Minshew, if the coach doesn't believe in this quarterback, then you need to make a fast decision. You need to make a fast change.
Well, and Brandon Graham's already said it, to Derek Gunn. Minshew and Sirianni have a relationship, so don't be surprised that you see Minshew pretty quick.
So do you think that they could be just doing this to bring Minshew in?
Well, no, I think they're playing Hurts out. We got to find out what he is.
Why? But why? You have nothing invested in him.
Right.
Why? What's the investment?
Well, because you got to know whether or not you're going to be using next year's 3 first-round picks on a quarterback or if he's the guy.
Well, how about your fan base this year?
Well, but they already told the fan base this year that we're not doing anything.
Who told them? John O'Brien?
No.
John O'Brien? Who?
Howie and Lori when
I never heard those words. Stop that.
It's their actions when you have a $39 million cap hit because you let Wentz go and you have all these other cap hits and you don't have any. That's telling you that you're not going to be a good team this year.
So
they're not spending the money this year.
This is the Phillies. This is the Phillies all over again because you've got money. You still got money that you're trying to get off the books.
That's the problem. Well, that's the problem.
They knew that.
And next year they're going to have money to spend, so that's when they're going to go for it. And they have they got the draft capital.
You need to be competitive this year. You need to put a half decent product on the field, and I feel like they have done that. I honestly believe. You look at that play calling. Coming out of the San Francisco game and into the Dallas game, that's terrible. That is absolutely terrible.
No doubt.
Yeah. Yeah, well, like I said, I mean, I just say it. I mean, it's going to happen. That they're trying to find out what Jalen Hurts is, and this is the year that they got to find out. And he hasn't. I think he's thrown one pass over the middle so far all year, and it was a holding penalty, so it didn't even end up counting.
Okay.
So he doesn't have the arm, and that's why he got benched from Alabama, and he had to go to Oklahoma. Everything's on the outside. You just watch every throw.
So
all right, so here's the deal. Gabe Kapler, and now Jalen Hurts. So we're gonna spend half our show talking about Jalen Hurts and how bad he is, and tear him apart. And then what?
Well, I mean, what we have to see, like, I'm not trying to tear him apart. I'm just pointing out some of the flaws he has right at the moment. Hopefully, he's going to be able to get better with it.
All right. So we got Hurts against Mahomes this week. What's going to happen?
That's a bad matchup right there.
It's a bad matchup for any quarterback, really.
Right.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to put anybody up against Mahomes, even on Mahomes' bad day.
Right. I mean,
okay.
And plus with the team that you have, I mean, it's you got. I don't know. It's going to be ugly. It should be an ugly game this week. So unless Andy Reid pulls back the dogs a little bit, and
you think he's going to? No.
Well, he may pull the dogs off where the game looks closer than it actually is, but they lost 2 in a row already, so they're not coming here to lose.
Right.
This Sunday. So
and Nick brings up a good point there. With all the offensive line injuries we have, they're going to get crushed.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, and Jalen Hurts, at least from the Cowboys game and a lot of what he showed last year as well, he looks for his first read and then he takes off. He did a lot of that. Again. And
doing that in the end zone is not a good thing.
Well, no. I mean, the game could have been a lot worse because he could have had a pick six, earlier where he missed Ertz and threw behind him and
could have had a pick six, could have had a safety. Right. Yeah, it could have been a lot worse.
But yeah, I mean, it's going to be. I think it's going to be a little bit more than an ugly 4 weeks there, Nick. I think it's going to be until the Broncos or maybe the Saints before we can get into the win column again. I think I could see 2 and 9 in the near future. Before we can start winning some games.
That's pretty bad.
Well, it is, but the schedule's not lining up pretty well for us. I mean, it's a tough schedule.
Well, we knew all that going in.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
No, exactly.
We knew. The stars have to align correctly. For this team to be, any good whatsoever.
Right.
The matchups are not in your favor.
No.
And then if your coaching staff's not putting your players in the right position. And a lot of this that we're talking about, and I think we've spent enough time talking Eagles.
Oh, yeah.
But I think a lot of these misfortunes with Hurts, if you put the ball in the running back's hands and you got 3 pretty good running backs to utilize, it's going to open up the rest of the field. Do you not agree?
Oh, well, it will, and I mean, we got to get Devontae Smith looking good too, because he hasn't, it's not.
He
all
had his
Jalen
lunch
Hurts.
handed to him, and I didn't hear you say one word about him yet.
Well,
he had his lunch handed to him.
Because I had to keep talking about the Hurts part that we were defending it when we were the questions, but no, I mean he's definitely a very big concern to me. I mean, he looked very small, like we said, and he came up small with.
I didn't say he was small. I said he was fast. So where's the speed? I thought he was going to run past all these guys.
Well, the problem is you got to get a quarterback to throw him the ball.
Well, get a guy wide open in coverage, and I saw the Rams, and I now think an ex-Eagle now has the most 50-yard touchdown.
Yeah, Deshaun Jackson.
Really?
Right there, you go.
Yeah.
So, But I gotta go back because my good friend, my good Italian buddy Ryan Hannigan was bringing up food a little bit ago, and he knows I'm on a low carbs, no salt, no good food diet, and he's talking about going to the Clam Tavern, and
Which is in my neighborhood, by the way.
right. Oh yeah, of course. Yeah,
Yeah.
of course. So he's bringing that all up to his other buddy, talking food and just he knows my status.
Yeah. But yeah, no, there's a lot more problems than just Jalen Hurts. So,
Well, I mean,
and I don't want it to be all on him either.
No, but I want to see him get a chance, and if he fails, he fails.
Right.
You know what I mean? If he's not the guy, he's not the guy. But I look around the league and I look at all these quarterbacks that were drafted, and I'll tell you what, there's a lot of failure sitting out there in the NFL so far.
No doubt. No doubt.
It's exactly right. I mean, it's not easy to be a quarterback in the NFL. You actually see them coming in later, as in their careers.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, it's not that. The only thing I have a problem with Hurts is his arm strength. That's it.
Right.
He's a NFL starting quarterback for everything except for his arm, and that makes him a backup quarterback. In the end up, grand scheme of things. But I mean, he's a quality gentleman, and everything else. It's a shame that his arm strength's just not there for the NFL. Which not everybody can do that. I mean, it's
There you go, Mike McCullough. Rookie quarterbacks are 1-10 this season. How's that stat? How's that fill the stat sheet?
and that one win is because two rookies were playing each other, so that's only somebody had to win.
Yeah, one lost.
Right. Well, yeah, but I'm saying they only got the one win because Mac Jones had to beat the Jets in Wilson. So
Jesus.
And we'll leave it on this note that the New York Giants are 0-3. So how would you like to be a Giants fan?
Oh yeah,
I would never want to be a Giants fan.
It could be worse,
Yeah, we don't play them till the end of November.
Right.
So.
Yep, we got them 2 and 3 weeks back to back, I believe it is.
Yeah.
Or 2 and 4 weeks.
I saw where Nick Graff wants to talk Flyers hockey. It's a little early to talk Flyers hockey because the exhibition season is just getting started. They
just played last night, right?
They played last night. They lost 3-2 in overtime to the Islanders.
Carter Hart looked good though.
Carter Hart played 2 good periods. I was going back and forth between Phillies and Flyers, but I love a lot of the moves that the Flyers made this year.
Right.
I absolutely love, some of these, they're older, no doubt, but, older defensemen, guys that can, they can pound people. And that's what you needed. We weren't tough last year. We weren't tough at all. So I think it's going to be an interesting year.
Now Jack's worried about Hart.
Yeah,
he's moved
curious.
off his beach house buddy, and he's worried about Carter Hart.
So he's got a new beach house.
So I hope not.
Yeah.
I hope not. I hope Carter plays well with his guys in front of him, and yeah, it's going to be an interesting season. You know what I mean? It's going to be a real good. I'm feeling good about it. I really am.
Yeah.
I think between Carter Hart and what's the kid's name? Well, he's not a kid, but the veteran backup Jones that they brought in from the West Coast as the backup goalie. I think we'll be okay. Yeah. I think we'll be okay. I think your top line. Your top line is what it was last year. I think Travis Konechny needs to, he's the guy that needs to step up. You need more than 11 goals out of Travis Konechny. That's all he had last year, and that's not getting it done.
Well, he was hurt though. He got hurt there during the season, so that put a little damper to things. But
they all were hurt.
Oh yeah,
they all got hurt. Everybody was hurt. If they weren't hurt, they had COVID. So.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah, I'm looking forward to a very successful Flyer season.
Oh yeah, yeah. Carter Hart was saved 17 of the 18 shots that he faced in the two periods. So, I'll take that. Every day. And just like that's all we were saying is we need that defense. So with the veteran guys that we have playing defense and being in the right spots, that's all you can ask for.
Ryan Hannigan's very in tune to the show tonight, which I like to see. He brought up the subject of food, which we acknowledged. Atkinson from Columbus for Voracek. I like that move, even though it's I think it's a 50-50 right
You
there.
think it's a lateral move?
You would think Atkinson might bring a little bit more than Voracek, to the new team.
Okay.
It's a new voice.
And then Ryan wants to jump right into the Ben Simmons Cancer Foundation. So I think we'll hold that till the last 30 seconds of the show.
Wow, you giving it a whole 30 seconds?
That's about it. And that might run over at 7:31. But Ryan,
he's on fire today.
Yeah, he is. But you know what? He had the misfortune of that tornado that ripped through, up in his neck of the woods, and I know he's been putting his place back together piece by piece, and wishing him the best, and glad nobody got hurt.
Yeah,
him and Gail were safe, and
his cigars weren't damaged either.
Well, I know that was a big thing. That was the first. The humidor was the first picture I saw.
Exactly. That fortress wasn't going anywhere. So.
No.
That's a good sized humidor too.
Yeah, it is. Well,
tell you,
he's a good cigar smoker.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So we appreciate. What is this? I told you all he was a scumbag. I guess he's still talking about Ben Simmons.
Yeah.
But yeah. So here it is, 7:00. I would be remiss if I didn't bring up the fact that the past couple of weeks that John and Anthony held it together at Dagwood's pub with Mickey Morandini. Great show. Mickey was outstanding with all these guys are with all the stories and all the things that they do in the community, and phenomenal show up there at Dagwood's. And then we broke out the Delco flag last week for Hannigan's Pub. Hanrahan's. Sorry, what I say? Hannigan's. I got him on the brain.
Ryan on the brain.
Yeah,
I got him on the brain. Hanrahan's Irish Pub with Greg Gross. Greg hadn't been around in a while. He's now coaching at Malvern. Which is
he really?
Yeah, he's back coaching. And did I get that right, John? Is that what I took away from that?
No, I think that's how he got into coaching. I think when he first got started back.
So he's no longer there at Malvern. He just came back.
No, he's I think retired now because he was with Colorado with the Aces. I think it was the minor league team.
Gotcha.
Up until the pandemic. He was doing that. That's how he got started with the in the coaching, and then once he was doing that, then the Phillies reached out to him and to be a bench coach, and then and then went to Colorado and Arizona. No, it was Arizona is the Aces. He was doing that, and he still wishes he would have been doing it, but with the pandemic and everything,
sure,
all the old veterans got the axe. So
we've talked about that.
Yes,
we talked about that with all of the guys that we've brought into various shows, and it's just unfortunate, but that just seems to be the way of the world. Look at the Eagles coaching staff. There isn't one guy, or
over 40.
I shouldn't say, there's a couple, but all the new guys that they brought in are all under 40 years old.
Right.
So what happens to all that veteran leadership and all that veteran coaching, and it just goes out the window.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, it's and plus all they all have the experience too. Like a guy like Greg Gross that's been through the wars and everything with the game and battles and World Series playoffs.
Yep.
you just don't get that with the computer. It doesn't tell you,
No.
this is how you deal with it, or and I think that's leading into a lot of these mental issues that a lot of the players are having nowadays that are cropping up. That everybody's having all these anxieties and all these issues that they don't know how to deal with pressures, of success or failure.
Yeah. But
it's a shame.
Couple of really good road shows, and
the Eagles
what's that?
The Eagles have liked that we had the road shows because we haven't been able to talk about them. and they're going to like it more coming forward too, because there'll be 2 weeks every month that we won't be talking about the Eagles.
I see.
I save up my notes though for them.
I don't. To answer Jack Broder, I don't know about the 13th. I just, I'm doing a lot of hopping, so I don't know. I don't know if I'm ready to take my hop on the road. So we'll see. We'll see how the strength goes and how things progress. Whether I can get out there for the 13th or not. It's not that I don't want to be there. Trust me. But we'll certainly figure it out. It's been a lot of fun watching the shows from afar, and just listening and taking it all in. And you guys have really, held it together, and I know I appreciate it because, it's something that we put a lot of work into, right? We build these things up, and we've got sponsors that have jumped on board with us that have been been just doing a great job with us, and so it's been a lot of fun. But hopefully in a few short weeks, I'll be back on the road as well.
We're coming up on 2 years, right?
It's
over
been
2 years.
Man. What's that?
Well,
no, we started in October, didn't we?
Well, October of 18.
So it
was 18. So we're coming up on 3 years.
It's 3 years for this fan's view. Yeah. I thought you were referring to the road shows as far as when that started. But it's it's a lot of fun. It's we try to be as interactive as possible, and I know we wasted a lot of time on me tonight talking about my accident and my injury, and
it's okay.
Yeah. A lot of people were interested.
Yeah, a lot of people were interested.
I appreciate all the love and support, and I don't know, there was some background noise on my end, but Carolyn Bachman came over to pay me a visit.
Tell her to get her picks in.
What's that?
Tell her to get her picks in.
And Randy.
Yeah, right. But she stopped over, and we were in the middle of the show. But anyway, Phillies. Where are we at? We're down to the last 5 games.
Last 5 games. Unfortunately, I think last night might have been the final blow. They're going to have to win out the rest of the way now. There's still a slimmer of hope, a glimmer there, but they have to win out, and then the Braves have to basically lose out. I think they can maybe win 1 game.
So it's pretty much if they lose tonight, they're done.
Well, officially no, because the Braves magic number is 3, so it'll only go down to 1 if they lose tonight. The Phillies.
Gotcha.
So technically no, but in all realities,
yes.
Yesterday was the nail in the coffin, so to speak. Unfortunately, because they got the Mets coming up afterwards, and then they have, if they need to, they have that extra game to play Colorado. If they have
that's Monday, right?
That'd be on Monday if they need to. But if all things go the way they're planning, it looks like they may not even need to play that game.
Right.
It was funny, and I go back to being laid up in the hospital, and one of the night nurses used to come in and spend 15 minutes with me watching the Phillies game. and they would always be losing. And she would just look at me and she goes, how come we just can't hit the ball?
Right.
What's the story here? Why can't we just hit the ball? And I'm like, I wish I had an answer. I could bottle it up.
Yeah.
I said, I have no answer. And I look at last night, first and second, nobody out. The beginning of the game, right? They moved the runners to second and third. You're in, you got a chance to put a couple on the board and you come away with nothing.
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing. What did they have, John? One more hit the rest of the night?
I believe, yeah. Well, I think they only had 3 or 4 hits. Yeah, so it wasn't much.
Do you think it's that they're trying too hard to hit the ball?
Well, no. I mean, it's just they've got a lot of bench guys playing right now, and they've been exposed a little bit because they've been in there too long.
Okay.
Like Brad Miller's had a hell of a year. He's got like 21, 22 home runs this year. But he's playing almost every day now since Reese has been hurt. That's not his role, or shouldn't be his role. Ronald Torreyes has been awesome this year.
Yeah, it's been good.
He's got career high of like 7 or 8 home runs, this year. But again, he's another guy that's been playing too much. And then you got like guys like Matt Vierland coming in and playing.
I was just going to say Vierland's doing pretty good too.
Yeah, I mean he's hitting the ball hard, doing what he's supposed to be doing. But these are the guys that if you shouldn't have in a playoff stretch being your starters that much. They're role players, and not to take anything away, especially at this stage of their careers.
Guess what? Where would we be without them?
Right.
Oh, well, no, exactly. Without Torreyes or Brad Miller, we would
be down.
Any of these guys that have stepped up,
right?
And I don't know what the number is as far as guys that we've brought up and thrown out there from time to time. But you wouldn't even be in this position if it wasn't for those guys.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. No, you're right. I mean, it definitely has to. You tip their hats to them because they've all did what they're supposed to do, and it's not their fault that if they struggle here and there. Didi's been out there playing all year long with the bum shoulder or an elbow,
right?
So I mean, it's not his. I mean, again, it's his fault. He's out there playing, I guess, but he has a reason for it. JT with his shoulder and his hand to start the season. That there's reasons for why they're struggling as well. You had 8 guys playing center field throughout the year. So I mean, all these things, and you lose, a couple starting pitchers. So I mean, and to be in it, 5 games left or 6 games left in the season. I'm not making excuses. I'm just letting you know why. I mean. It stinks. I mean, but like I said, I have a different view from it because I had them winning like 85 wins this year, but 3rd or 4th in the division. I thought that the Braves would have done what they were supposed to do and probably ran away with it. I mean, they could have had 100 wins themselves if they didn't have injuries.
So now the question is, and I saw it up on the board: is Joe back next year?
Oh yeah, no, he's back.
You think?
Yeah, you can see he's definitely back because they're making moves that are bringing his guys in.
Okay.
We got Preston Mattingly was signed today. To be the development player for the farm system. So I mean, he's.
So how is that? Help me here. How is that Joe's guy?
Well, because he was with Joe, I believe, at some point. He was with the Padres, but I'm not sure the connection with Joe. I thought there was some kind of connection they were talking about.
I mean, my connection is it's Donnie Baseball's son.
Well, right. Well, it is.
Right?
It is that too.
It's
but
Don Mattingly's son.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? 34-year-old guy. That's going to put the Phillies back together. I mean, are we throwing the towel in and we're going to rebuild this whole system?
Oh yeah, no, the whole system has to be rebuilt. Yeah, absolutely. Yep, it's going to be rebuilt. But Ryan, look at it. yeah, Sean, you're right with the 32 blown saves, absolutely. But Ryan, look at the lineup. You want to talk about how they underachieved? The Braves have Dansby Swanson batting 8th with 27 home runs. Where do we have that guy? Like that's their depth on their team. You have an eighth hole hitter hitting 27 home runs. You know, they went out and got Soler. They got Rosario and Jock Peterson and there was one other one as well that the guy from Florida that was theirs to begin with. You know, they come in and they're smashing the ball. We end up getting Freddie Galvis back. You know, it's we didn't go over the luxury tax because of that. That was what held us back. If we would have gone for the over the luxury tax and made a couple more moves, yeah, we're a playoff team at this moment. So I don't know that they underachieved as much as they were what they are. You know what I mean? As far as we said that they were about 85 wins.
Right.
So, and that's where they're at. So,
Yeah, but you're not putting in play the blown saves.
no, I am.
You know what I mean? You're not putting that into play. I'm not hearing that in the conversation. And that's a big part of the failure with this team. Has been A, the starting pitching, and B, the bullpen. They're two big, major disappointments.
But the third part of that is the offense.
Well, and that's part of the problem with this. Like, I think we have what's it, 35 saves, 35 blown saves, I believe it is. It's a little bit of a overblown statement too, because we have like 2 or 3. There's a bunch of games where we have 2 or 3 blown saves in one game. So where other teams might have a couple blown saves, but their offense, like you're saying, Mario, overachieves it and then gets the game won in the end. Half the year, if not more, ever since Reese has been out, you only had Bryce Harper in the lineup that anybody feared. That was doing doing anything. So it was easier to pitch around. I mean, who are you pitching around on the Braves lineup to get out of the game when you have Swanson with 27 home runs, Albie with 30 home runs, Riley with 30 home runs. I mean, their whole infield has 25 to 30 home runs plus.
Sounds like you've become a Braves fan.
I'm not. But I'm saying, but
I'm
just saying,
my first night back. Easy on me.
You missed a lot, so you thought I was a Braves.
It's the pain meds, John. It's the pain meds.
No, but I'm just saying, it's like these are the differences. I mean, the Braves go out and get Jock Peterson, Duvall, and Soler and Rosario, and we got Freddie Galvis at the trade.
Are you now working for the Braves?
I'm not, but I'm just showing the differences. I mean, how do you compete with that?
You don't.
I mean? Well, that's
he's just reading stats.
He's
just reading stats.
Right.
And you forgot the biggest stat of them all. They've done all of this without Ronald Acuna Jr. How about that?
Well, they did, but what did they do though? They got Soler and they added these guys. Duvall ends up having a bunch of home runs. So
they wouldn't have had to go out and get those guys if it wasn't for losing Acuna.
Well, of course,
you know what I mean?
But I'm saying, but their GM and their owner said yes, go out and spend that money. So that's a lot. It's well, see, 25% yet, Shawnee, but. Who's the second worst team in the National League with blown saves? It's the Atlanta Braves. They have the second most. So it's not it looks bad, and the Giants have another. They're up there with a lot of blown saves as well, but they have offenses that can overachieve and take those places and get those wins that are blown saves in the 7th inning. That are out there instead of the 9th inning. The 9th inning blown saves are the ones that are more important because you don't have the time to come back in the game. But it's that's why I said it's an overblown thing because those other teams have Crawford. The Giants are having a lot of guys that are having career years.
Let's go back a few years, Philly fans, because we've been chasing the Braves forever.
Yeah.
You go back to the late 80s, the early 90s, Chipper Jones, Greg Maddox, you know, John Schmaltz. I mean, we've been chasing these friggin' Braves in this chop bullshit for how many years?
Yeah.
Right? And then here we are. We're right back in it again because they've retooled their current team. They've been good. They're gonna be good. You know, I mean, seriously, if you were starting a franchise today, you know, you wouldn't take Freeman off of first base and make him your choice.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, he's a stud. He's an absolute stud. And, you know, they've just built around that. You know, you look at their catcher. Was he not a Philly farmhand back in the day?
He was. He
You know,
was.
Isn't Freeman up for
here we
free
are.
agency this year?
He is. Yeah.
So
You know,
do they keep
here
him?
we are. You know, we're chasing the
I believe
Braves.
so.
This reminds me of the '90s all over again.
Yeah.
And it probably will be for the next, I don't know,
Oh
5-10 years.
Well, I mean, with their lineup that they have, they got all young pitching and a young lineup that, you know, is stacked. So yeah, no, they're the team to beat. You know, we were lucky this year that they had a lot of injuries to their pitching staff, to Acuna, to Albies for a little while there, and you know but they have the depth in their organization to be, or the ability to go out and spend the money to go get some players that take the place of them. I mean, how nice would Duvall look to be added to our lineup right now?
Right.
You know what I mean, type of thing. Let alone add in Soler, Jock Peterson, and Rosario to that lineup as well.
And what did they give up? They gave up hardly anything to get these guys.
Right, exactly. But that's the difference. They have a farm system that people will take on a couple of players versus, you know, we don't have a farm system, you know, and that's where it's, you know, it's a big difference, you know, and you know, their blown saves, they blow them and then they can come back and win the games where we weren't able to do that because we don't have, you know, we got guys like Freddie Galvis and, you know, Ronald Torreyes that played well. You know, again, not trying to knock them, but you know,
I don't even know why. I don't even know. And you brought up Freddie Galvis's name 3 times in the last 30 seconds. And I have no idea why he's even in the starting lineup every night. Why?
Because
He doesn't even play good defense anymore.
Do we have anybody else to replace him?
Sure, you do. Number 74, the kid that was there should be out there every night.
Well,
every night.
He should, but the problem is he's been getting exposed a little bit, and he needed
exposed to what? That he swings at a couple pitches that he shouldn't. But
I think he's getting worn out a little bit. Not exposed, I should say. I mean, just that he's breaking down a little bit. And
I'd rather have him there than Freddie Galvis. How about
I agree.
No doubt.
I'm not. You know, he's been the lifeline of, you know, to save this team so far.
You know, you had a serious meltdown with one of your, you know, number 1 picks. You know what I mean? I see they brought him back. You know, who God only knows what, you know, how they're going to try to rebuild his confidence.
Right.
Right.
You know, I don't know that you can. It's just, you know, I don't know. Yeah, I guess I would rather have Bohm than Galvis. You know, at least, you know, you got the potential for something. I just don't know. I mean, we beat up Bohm all year. I hate to even think about, you know, bringing him back until, I guess, next spring training.
Probably not.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of comments there, you know, by Nick that he should be putting him out there. I don't know if he should, because his confidence has been pretty beat up. I mean, you know, he ended up getting a little hot there in the Iron Pigs there in Lehigh, and he was batting 300, you know, but he only had 2 RBIs and 1 home run out there. So, and that's against AAA pitching. So,
right.
You know, right. What's he really able to, you know, do? He's not driving the ball again, and then that's what he's got to do. And that was why he was sent down to the minor leagues to drive the ball. And
well, he was looking, if my memory serves me correct, he was looking pretty horrible. I mean, that swing was had deteriorated to like nothing.
Yep.
Well, what do we have to lose? We just you have a chance of losing him for the rest of his career, if there is any kind of a career left with him. If he comes up here again and he fails going into spring training.
You think that could be done for him?
Yeah, because we know, first of all, he doesn't have a good enough glove, so he's only up here for his bat. So if he's struggling, he can't play first base really. I mean, they might force him there, but he's a DH. He can't play third base defensively. So he has to be able to hit, and he has to be able to hit with power. Because if you want to be a DH, you can't be a slap hitter too much, because unless you're hitting 350 like a Tony Gwynn, every year, and that's not what he does. Yes, is he a better bat than Gal? Yes, he is in theory, but the way he was batting before this, no, he wasn't. He's not a better bat.
You think it's all up here?
Or
you think it's actually his ability that's not good?
Well, I think he got figured out a little bit. He has a long swing. He's another guy that thinks he knows everything, and doesn't take to coaching too well.
I was going to say, so then isn't it up to the batting coach to say, look, this is what you need to do to get around that?
Well, I mean that's the reason why he went to AAA, and it's just a matter of him doing that, and it doesn't seem like
Well, they want him to. I read today where they want him to go out and play winter ball
in Arizona. Yeah.
So, oh wow. Okay.
That's I mean, it's not a demotion, but that's telling them, like, look, you need to go get your act together.
Yeah, do or die.
I mean, it's you're in that crucial stage, because if you bring him back, because he may be a piece that you might be trading in the off season,
right?
So if you bring him back up and he fails again, it just weakens your momentum, or trade value.
They need to figure out a whole lot of things.
It's not just one thing.
Season, so
right. Oh yeah.
But my I was going to go around the horn, but we're closing in on 7:30. But I think the biggest move of the offseason for the Phillies is to go and sign Chris Bryant. You got a third baseman, a left fielder, and you got a big bat in the lineup. And I think that answers a lot of questions for the Phillies. I know John and I have talked about the cap and what money's coming off and what money can come on. But I think that is, that's my first move of the offseason is when Chris Bryant becomes a free agent, you go and sign him.
Yep.
Okay. So Sue's question, Harper get the MVP?
That's a good question.
I think they're going to screw him out of it.
This is a year that he can. All the three of the guys that are up for it with Tatis, Soto, and Harper. None of those teams are making the playoffs,
right?
Which sometimes is a hindrance to a guy versus a guy that's in the playoffs. I'm surprised more like a guy like Albies isn't getting talked about, or Muncy from the Dodgers type of thing.
If Muncy had stayed with it, he'd have been a lock.
Right.
But he just had a horrible September.
Yeah, he collapsed there a little bit. And,
where Harper was on fire in September.
Right.
He's been playing MVP like. I just
ever since the All-Star game. It's not even just September. He's been there since the All-Star break.
I mean, he's had a great second half.
Yeah,
the
second half.
Great second half.
Harper should get it. I don't think he's going to get it though.
Yeah, I think they may go to Soto for the MVP.
Going to be interesting.
It will be. It definitely will be.
Hey, it's we come up on that hour, and do we still do takeaways on this show?
We do.
We can.
Absolutely do.
All right, we'll let you go first.
I got an awesome takeaway. Our one and only child, Lauren Ann is getting married this weekend, and we're all heading to Cooperstown, New York tomorrow morning. We got a big weekend planned. I know many, 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 many of our friends, are going to be there along the parade route. I'm looking forward to hanging out with everybody. It's been a shit month of September. So excuse my French. I'm just looking to celebrate a little bit.
Absolutely.
I want to toast a few with my friends, and most of you guys are going to be along for the ride as well. So I'm looking forward to this wedding more than anything. It goes back a couple of years with COVID canceling it. And, you know, Sue, unfortunately, you know, had some health issues, and now, you know, now me getting hit by a friggin' parked car, you know, it just doesn't make any sense. But we're looking forward to a fantastic weekend. So I want to thank you guys for welcoming me back. Everybody that jumped on tonight, for all the kind words. It's great to be back.
Great. It was
John?
nice having you back.
We'll go over to you, John.
You go to me. Well, last week my closing comments were for Sue to make Carl breakfast. This week, I know Sue hasn't forgotten about it. She keeps reminding me about it every day. But so my takeaway for this week is to help Sue out. Carl's going to be taking care of breakfast from Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and even Monday. He's got it the whole weekend under control. She won't have to pick up a finger at all. Carl's got the breakfast the whole
I knew
weekend.
I liked you, John. I knew you had my back.
Absolutely. You got the whole weekend that the breakfast is taken care of. So.
There you go.
She's going to kick your ass. That's all I got to say.
She'll like me when I bring the city sips back up to her now.
There you go.
There you go.
God. On that note, I'm flying out of here tomorrow night,
Okay.
and then we're driving up Friday. I cannot wait to see all you guys. It's been far too long since I got to see you guys in person. So
Cool.
looking forward to knocking back a few.
There you go.
There you go.
All right.
There you go. Cheers,
Congratulations,
everybody.
Martin
Thank
and
you.
Anthony.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
All right.
Take
See you
care,
later.
gentlemen.
See ya.